What's up, trolls? Coming at you from the depths of my kitchen, as per usual. Yep, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready for them Niners to take the Super Bowl. We had a wonderful weekend. I never doubted them. Obviously, I'm a diehard. There has been a lot that's been happening though, and it's kind of concerning. I you know, I troll social media just like the rest of you, and the more I look at it, and it worries me. There's so much talk about men not being able to reach out or not having somewhere or someone to reach out to. It's kind of concerning. We are we're so important. We really are. We are so important to society, to the community, to everything that happens around us. But a lot of us, we don't get the credit, and sometimes when we do get the credit, we don't know how to handle it. We don't know how to take a compliment. We're not used to being complimented for the things that we do. We're not used to. We're just not used to it. It's we've been so we're so used to being undervalued that whenever somebody gives us a compliment or wants to makes us relevant or wants to make us feel good about what it is that we're doing, we don't know how to react to it, and we devalue that compliment, and we get in our thoughts, and we become trapped in ourselves. It sucks. It really does suck. As I said, and I'm gonna keep reminding you, I drive for Lyft, right? On the It used to be on the weekends, but now it's just as often as I can. Things are hard for everybody out here. Um, I just got off of work right now, from doing the pest control thing, and over the weekend I was able to go to Safeway and pick up some eggs, and I got a 5 dozen package. The big 5 dozen. I don't even know how else to explain it. Double decker thing, and I got it, and it was $18, and it was already expensive, right? Because last time that I bought that same amount of eggs, it was, well, 4 years ago it was $10, and then it went to $12, and then like 2 weeks ago it was $15, and I already thought that was a lot, and then last week when I got it was 18, right? And I heard through the grapevine that it was going to go up even more, that they were slated to blow up. I just didn't think it was going to be as much as it was. It was $30 today when I went to see him. Obviously, I didn't get them because it's $30. That's a shit ton of money. Not only, obviously I could get them, I can afford them, but I didn't want to pay $30 for eggs. But that got me thinking of other people that can't even afford eggs right now, man. It's ridiculous. But you know what they're gonna say, right? They're gonna tell us, yeah, I mean, eggs are $30. They're $6, $7 a dozen. But look at your gas. Gas is $3 a gallon. As if that's gonna make a difference now. Um, but I sidetracked. I do that a lot. I know. But as I was saying, so I drive Lyft, and on Friday night, I was Thursday night actually, was driving here in Sacramento and picked up this kid, 17-year-old kid, and he got me. I picked him up, and at first I thought he was on drugs because he was just talking really fast, and he wasn't making any sense. But then he started telling me that he was 17 years old, and that he didn't understand why his parents didn't want him. Um, he was staying over at his mom's, and she, for what he said, she's a, she's a user. She does meth, and she's also an alcoholic. And they got in a fight, and things were said, and she kicked him out of the house. 17 years old, and he wasn't sure of what he was going to do. Or at the moment, I was going to drive into his girlfriend's house, and she was going to let him stay there for a couple of days until he figured things out. But aside from that, he wasn't sure. He didn't know what he was going to do. And not only that, it's kind of awkward when you're a Lyft driver and you start hearing these things from people, especially kids, you know, because sometimes you don't know what to say. And this particular time, I didn't think I needed to say anything. He didn't need that at that moment. He really didn't need. He didn't need me to say anything. He needed somebody to listen to him, and that's what I did. I sat there and I listened to everything that he had to say, and it was it was a lot of the same. He. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure this thing out. He yeah, he was just kept asking me why his parents didn't want him. He just kept asking me why they would just treat him the way they treat him and tell him the things they would tell him, and why they didn't want him. He never asked to be brought into this world, and obviously he didn't ask to be treated the way he's treated. But that made me sad. Obviously, if you hear a 17-year-old kid telling you those things and it doesn't make you sad, then you're a monster. And I get what a lot of people would say. Kids nowadays, they're soft because a lot of them are soft. And kids, that kid would make it a day in my shoes, and he probably wouldn't. But he shouldn't have to. You know, um, I'm sure he wouldn't make it a day in my shoes. I grew up in Mexico, and in Mexico, right? Where you start working when you're 4 or 5 years old, and you got to pull your weight, right? You get up early in the day and you help out with the chores of the day. In my case, I started when I was 4.5 years old, and I had to get up and round up the chickens. And nobody asked me, "Hey, are you okay doing this? Do you want to do this?" It wasn't like that. It was just like, you're gonna get up. Here's how you catch a chicken, and you better go out and catch them. And we would take those chickens, hang them up. I hold their wings, and my dad would dispatch them, and I just hold them till they stop shaking, move on to the next one, so on and so forth. Take them off the line, take them to my mom, who would dip them, and we'd all start plucking them, right? But that was an everyday thing. But that was back then, right? That was in shit. That was in the '80s, and in Mexico, this kid opened up to me, and what really got me was when he told me that he was thinking of just ending it all. He didn't want to be here anymore. He didn't see a reason to keep going. And that's what he said. He says, I keep thinking about this. I think this all the time. Like, why don't I just end it? I don't have a purpose. Nobody's gonna care. Nobody wants me here. Nobody loves me here. There's nothing for me here. And the whole time I sat there and I was just listening to him until he said that. And before I picked them up, I was on the phone with my wife, and I was telling her that I was feeling weird. I had this weird feeling, almost like I didn't feel safe. It was just this overwhelming feeling in my chest and my shoulders. Like, I don't know. I can't. It was just this anxiety that I had, and I didn't know what it was. And when this kid got in the car and he started saying those things, and he started just opening up to me, I saw that as my opportunity. And I said to myself, "Hey, man, so you're sitting here and you're trying to do this thing, this podcast or this YouTube thing, where you're telling people to reach out to you and ask for help. And yeah, I'm the kind of guy that if I see you on the side of the road broken down, I'm gonna pull over. I'm gonna try to help you out. And if I can, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna get you out of that hole. I'm gonna give you a ride to where you need to go. I might even buy you some gas. You know, so I did that. I saw that as my opportunity and I sprung. I acted on it. I started talking to this kid and I told him, I said, "Hey man, don't say those things. I can actually relate to you and I get that, and I told him a little bit about my life, about my dad leaving also, when I was 11, and my mom not being very, 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 she was loving, but not in the way that I would have wanted her to be loving. She didn't hug me a lot. Obviously, she loved me, otherwise I wouldn't still be here, right? But I opened up to him. I told him a couple of things about me, and the more I talked to him and the more that I let him express himself, he started to come down and he started to, yeah, he just started to feel more relaxed. He was feeding off my energy and the good vibes that I was trying to give him. And he was telling me that he doesn't really have anybody to talk to, and the only person so far the only person that he ever has to talk to is his girlfriend. But sometimes even she doesn't understand what he's going through, and she, in his words, sometimes she's just bugging. So I gave him the number. I gave him the number. I have it on my. I always put it in the description, and I told him, I said, "Hey man, I know that you don't know me at all, but sometimes talking to a stranger like you're doing right now, sometimes just having somebody to listen to you, sometimes that helps. I know it helps me. Sometimes it makes a difference." And he actually took the number. I haven't heard from him, but I can say that I tried, and I'm hoping that he kept the number, and I'm hoping that he sends me a text message, and I'm hoping that I can help him because he told me that he was going through depression right now, and part of the fight that he had with his mom was he's been trying to get her to he's been trying to get her to bring him to the doctor so he can get his antidepressants refilled, so he can stop the voices, and she won't do it. And he has an appointment. Um, sorry, he has an appointment in February. So I offered to give him a ride. I said, "Hey, if you call me, if you send me a text, you don't have to pay me, man. And it's nothing weird, obviously. I don't expect anything in return. I just want you to know that I'm happy to drive you to your appointment. But you got to call me, you know." If you need something from me, you let me know and I'll see what I can do to help you to get there or to get it. And yeah, I think that's where it starts. Sometimes doing a little is doing a lot, right? So sometimes just maybe maybe that'll click something in his head. Maybe some of the words that I said to him will get through to him and make him realize that, hey man, somebody does care, even if it's this weird fucking stranger, this Lyft driver, this nobody. I've experienced those things before. When I was in seventh grade, I had to walk to school like all of us did. Our kids really don't. Kids nowadays, and it makes me sound like a grumpy old man, but it's true. A lot of kids nowadays don't really know um, how good they have it. Mine don't. That's for that's 100% for sure that mine don't. Um, so it is. Yeah, seventh grade. It's dumping, and I mean dumping, kind of like the way that it just dumped here for the past 3 weeks. It is just dumping, and I don't even have a raincoat. I have this little zip up hoodie that's made of like velvet. It was blue with a white line. I still remember it vividly. And I'm wearing blue jeans. And it's like a 3-4 mile walk to the school uphill. And it's just dumping. And I'm soaking wet. I'm not even halfway there. And this stranger pulls over. It was a brand new Ford Explorer, leather interior. It was tan. I remember it still. He pulls over. He rolls down the window. And he tells me, "Hey, I see you walking every day. Let me give you a ride to school." And I don't say anything. I just keep walking. And he follows me and he's telling me, he's like, "Hey, I understand it's weird. You don't want to get in the car with a stranger, but you're going to get sick, man. I promise you, I won't try anything. I just want to give you a ride to school. And you're a good kid for listening to your parents, and not getting into a car with a stranger, but you're going to get sick out here. And I see you every day. I see you walking to school. Let me give you a ride." I was cold. I was dumping. I got in the car. And I couldn't stop apologizing because I was getting his interior all wet. It's really nice leather interior and heated seats. It was so nice. Like the seat just hugged me. And he drove me to school. A stranger felt bad for me and did the right thing. Just drove me to school. And it made a difference. It made a difference because I've always, maybe since then, maybe since before, I really can't remember, to be honest with you, but I think that's what did it. I've always made it a point to try to help other people. Um, some people think is weird. Even my own family, when I met my wife, her family, they didn't know what the hell I was about because they would ask me for a favor and I'd be right there. I'd be like, boom, what's up? I need to move some furniture. Cool, I'm strong. Let's go. I need to do this. Boom, I'm here. Let's go. We're family. And they always ask the same damn question. And it was just so beyond me. Like, it doesn't fit to this day. It doesn't fit in my head. How much you going to charge me? Charge you for what, homie? How much you going to charge me? You're going to do this for me? You're going to help me for 3, 4 hours, whatever, whatever. What's it going to cost me? And I was telling them the same thing. It's not going to cost you anything. We're family. That's what family's supposed to do. We're supposed to help each other. They always said the same thing. Like, well, what do you mean? What's the catch? There is no catch. Well, there's got to be a catch, but there isn't. This is just how I am. That's just it. This is how I am. I'm loving. I'm caring. I wanna I want to spread all of that. Whatever little bit I got, I want to give some to you. If that's gonna make you happy, if I can help you, if I can make you smile, if you're having a shit day and I meet you and I can make this much of a difference, the most abysmal amount difference in your life, in your day, if I can make you smile, if I can make you happy just for that one moment, that's my payment. That's what I consider my payment. Making you happy, that makes me happy. I've always done it. I'm not going to stop. Still catch a lot of crap. And there has been people that are that I end up helping and they screw me over. It happens all the time. But it doesn't make me want to stop. Doesn't make me want to change. It's made me a little more weary of people, you know. But I'm still doing it. On Christmas, the day after Christmas, we were driving back from the Bay. Went to visit my mom and my mother in law over in Novato. And we're driving and we're just talking. My wife and I were just talking about how blessed we are, and we're talking about how the holidays were really rough. I broke two rims, but I still kept going, and things just worked out because I kept my head up, and I stayed positive, and everything worked out. Sorry, I got perched. Had to get some hydration. Ran out of bubbly, so regular water it is. I like to recycle, so we're into water bottles in this family, and I like this one because it fits my hand. So I have a freaking monkey monster hands, so it fits my hand perfectly. Where was I? Oh yeah, so we're talking, about just just that about how I just had to fix the car and this and that, and we get talking about just I'm so glad, right? Because it's starting to storm. It's the day after Christmas, and it's storming, and it would suck to be stuck on the side of the road, and we go through this area um, between Elkhorn and just like right past Elkhorn Drive. If you're from this area, you know what I'm talking about. It's Elkhorn, Alberta, and El Riego Road. And in one of those overpasses, my wife sees this little blinking light that I don't pay attention to. I just see a broken down car. So, I'm like, damn, that sucks. Whoever left their car there. And she goes, babe, there's somebody there. I said, okay. So, we helped her out. It was a female by herself. Stopped middle of the road, man, in a dark area, not knowing what was out there. Could have been anybody. I was with my kids, so I was putting all of us at risk. But I didn't care. It was my wife mentioned it. It was somebody that needed help, and why not? We weren't gonna leave that person stranded out there because we hope that if that's us someday, that someone's gonna stop and they're gonna give us a hand. And that's what I mean when I ask you and everybody else to be kind to one another. We got to be kind to one another, man. And I think about that lady because all she told me is she just wanted to get home to her kids. And she was working as an assistant. She was working hard. in a car just taking a shit. And the same way I think about that lady, I've been thinking about that kid. You know, mental health. It's crazy. It's crazy because it's a sickness that we don't see. Nobody sees it. Nobody understands it. Then when you go to the doctor, sometimes they don't understand it. Some doctors try real hard, and some don't want to, but all they can do is try to give you feel good pills, right? And some people don't like taking those pills. I don't like taking those pills. I don't yet, but I know that I should. 'Cause sometimes I have crazy thoughts, but you know, I have what I call my committee of hamsters, and they all do their thing in there. And the way that I deal with my issues used to be by drinking, because I would get numb and I wouldn't have to think about it until I sobered up. And then I stopped drinking, so I didn't have a way to deal with it. But it seems to be working. Just putting it out here, sharing stories, what I do with you, whoever it is out there watching this. It's nuts because we're all here. You're here. I'm here. We all have this issues that we don't have anybody to talk to about because we got to be strong for somebody else, right? If you're a man, you got to be strong for your family if you have one, or you got people depending on you. If you're a woman, it's pretty much the same thing. You got people depending on you. Maybe you're a single mom. Maybe you're in an abusive relationship. Maybe you're in an abusive relationship with a substance. And that goes also for men because we can be abused too. I was in an abusive relationship before I met my wife. I didn't think it'd be possible, but it happened. And even she couldn't believe it, until I explained to her how it happens, how it doesn't matter man or woman or how big you are, we can all be abused. And I know, just like that kid, like I told that kid, I'll tell everybody else out here. I know that I'm nobody because I'm not. I'm nobody. I'm a bug guy. I kill bugs for a living and I drive strangers around and I try to share my stories with other people. And I don't know much. I don't know shit about fuck, but I know about life. I know about my experiences. I know about the thoughts that go through my head. And I know that I'm not the only one that has those thoughts. I know about my struggles. And I also know that I didn't have anybody to talk to them about. I still don't. I tried doing therapy when I was a kid. My therapist was 23 years old. She had just gotten out of whatever school they go to become therapists. Her parents had been married for 30 years, happily, owned multiple homes, one of which she was living in. They bought her the car that she drove, right? She had everything in a silver platter. I was in 8th grade. I was in 8th grade. I just found out that my brother was a drug addict. I was just barely getting used to my dad not being there anymore. He had left for about a year by then. I just realized my other brother was gay. I was angry. I realized that my mom was, she had been with other men. And I was angry. I wasn't angry at my mom. I wasn't angry at the fact that my brother was gay because he's still my brother. I wasn't angry at my brother for being a drug addict. I wasn't even angry at my dad for leaving. I was angry at everybody because they fucking lied to me. Everybody lied to me. And everybody always told me to be honest with them. Hey, man, if there's something, you can count on me. They all told me the same thing. They wanted me to be honest with them. They wanted me to talk to them, but I couldn't be honest. They couldn't be honest with me. No one was ever honest with me. And there she was. She was beautiful too. She was just trying to help me. But oh, and I forgot my sister was dying. I had a handicapped sister who, there's a lot wrong with her. So there was that too. And this chick, she's sitting there telling me that she understands what I'm going through, telling me that she knows exactly what I'm suffering with. She has been there. I can just she's just there to listen to me, and she can give me some advice on how to deal with certain things. So I asked her, I was like, hey, just asked her some regular questions. Her age. I asked her about her parents, and that's when it went all downhill. Started telling me her parents had been married for 30 years, and she had gone to school, not on a scholarship. Her parents paid for that school. And she started telling me about all the struggles that she didn't have. And I went off on her and I was like, how dare you? How dare you? You're going to sit here with your perfect little life and the perfect marriage that your parents came from and everything that was given to you, and you're going to pretend like you know what I'm going through? You don't know shit about me. You have no idea what I've been through. You have no idea who I am. So don't sit here and pretend that you do. I don't need your fucking pity. I need somebody to explain why my family lied to me. I need somebody to explain why my father doesn't want me. But she couldn't give me that. I made her cry, and I've never not felt bad about it. I didn't mean to make her cry. Now, as an adult, I know that she was just trying to help me, but I was a broken kid and I needed the type of therapy that she wanted to give me. Is not the type of therapy that I needed at the time. And it's part of the reason why I've never gone to therapy. I don't trust them. I can't stand when they tell me that they know what I've gone through. And I know that a lot of us, obviously not just me, I know that that's why we don't go to therapy, because we don't want somebody who hasn't been through some of the things we've been through. We don't want somebody who hasn't been through the mud, who hasn't we don't want somebody to pretend that they know what we're going through. And it's really hard to find somebody who has actually been there. It's really hard to find somebody who can actually say, "Hey, I was an alcoholic and I changed. I was a drug addict and I changed. My parents abandoned me. My father wasn't there. I got molested," or all these things. And I think it hits different when you talk to somebody who's been through some of those things. When you talk to somebody, when you feel like there's no one there for you, like you don't have anything left, when you feel like you're nothing, when you feel like there's nothing for you, and you can talk to somebody who's been through that, it makes a difference. It makes a difference when you can talk to somebody who has felt like nothing. When you talk to somebody who knows what it's like to look in the mirror and tell themselves they're nothing. Because for so many years, they've been told that they're nothing or that they will never be nothing. You know, it took me a while to come to terms with those things. And I know that we're not all fortunate enough, at least not yet, to have found somebody like the person that I found. If I hadn't found my wife when I did, I'd be lying in a ditch. And I say this story over and over again, and I will keep repeating it because it's true. I would not be here without her. If she hadn't, if it wasn't for her, I don't think I'd be making these videos right now. I probably, I don't even know if I would have lived to be 40. But she fixed me. She taught me that it's okay to feel loved. She taught me that I am worth it, and I'm trying to help some people with those things. I want to help some people to regain that confidence. I want to be there, you know. I want to help you. And if you don't need help, that's fine. I just want to talk. I like talking, but also like listening. And sometimes listening is the best kind of talking because you get to learn about people. You get to learn new things. Some people have the most interesting stories, and I want to hear those stories. Some people need to tell those stories to get that weight off their shoulders, to get rid of those demons that they've been dealing with for so long. Sometimes talking's all you need to get rid of that dependency on that addiction. You know, sometimes talking's all you need to be able to give up alcohol, to be able to not use today. Sometimes it's all you need. And if that's what you need, I want to be here for you. You know, I want you to text me or send me an email or whatever. Tell me what you need. And I'll do what I can. I think I said at the beginning of this, I just been seeing a lot of sad news, you know, as far as depression, social media lately. There's been a lot of people unaliving themselves. Apparently, my kid says that that's what I got to say to not get canceled, but you know what I'm talking about. There's been a lot of that lately. Men, a lot of them are giving up because they think they're all alone. Women, because they don't think they're good enough, or that somebody wants them. Children, because they don't think anybody can understand them. Because for whatever reason, in 2023, we still haven't learned that we got to talk to our kids. We got to be honest to our kids. We got to remember that we're not our parents. We can tell our kids we love them. We can hug them. We can kiss them. We can hold them and still be their parents. We're not supposed to be their friends. We can be friendly with them, but we're not supposed to be their friends. I'm not their friend. I'm their father. I make that clear. But on the nights that we have family night, I talk to them. How are things? How's everything? How's school? How's your love life? How's that drug smuggling ring that you're associated with? You know, you got to be silly. It's okay to be silly. It's okay to joke about those things. That works for me. Maybe that doesn't work for you or for the next person, but I say things like that to my kids. How's it working being a hitman for you? It's just stupid shit. Check on them. I do the same with my wife. I call my wife religiously. Sometimes I go to work and she's still asleep. I don't say anything. I just go to work. Right now, she's going through cancer. She's going through her depression. But I check on her. I know she wakes up at around, 11:30, 12, sometimes 1 p.m. But I'm sending her text messages. And I always call her. And when I call her, I'm always telling the same thing. Hey, gorgeous, how you doing? Hey, beautiful, how's it going? Hey, vida, mi amor, my queen. Because if you want your partner to treat you like royalty, you need to treat them like royalty. And not just tell them the royalty, but show them that they are royalty to you. Because you didn't marry to have a janitor or to have a maid. You got married so you could have a partner for life. And I don't only tell her that, I show her that. And when she's not feeling well, I pick up after her. Or not after her. I pick up after the kids. I pick up after myself. And I don't help around the house. Because I'm not helping anyone. You help a stranger. Right? When you're doing work around your house, it's your goddamn house. You're just keeping up your house. You're not helping your wife. It's not her job. You're not helping your husband. It's not his job. It's both of your journey. You're just doing your part. But I digress. Like I said, I check on her. And I ask her silly questions too. But I always ask, how you doing? How are you? How you feeling? You still a bitch today? So I want to make sure that we're having conversations. Here, look, they're here. You say hi? Hi. Oh, the family comes through with the fancy water. Let me see what you got. Oh, they got the good. They got the expensive stuff. They got bubble there. They got me the mango. What is that I see over there? Strawberry. Well, they're here. I'm going to go spend some time with them. I think I've said enough for today. What is this? Got some clay, apparently. So I'll leave you with that to think about. Like I said, check on your loved ones. You know, check on them because right now with the storms and everything that's going on, they are not all right. None of us are. Call them, text them, whatever it takes. Tell them you love them. Anyway, trolls. Till next time.